Ben, were you surprised at all that he immediately shot this down? I mean, I know we're not close, but he definitively said, we're not going to have this during my tenure, and we know he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, I was not surprised just because it seems like such an absurd thing to suggest based on current market conditions that we would take the Super Bowl to streaming only. I'd have to get some financial analysts in here to tell me exactly when the audience would have to cross some number on a chart where that would make people more money than just putting it on free to air TV and selling ads against it. But my strong understanding is that we are, years and years from that. So I guess if I was surprised, it was because the NFL never says anything definitively about anything. They always want to keep all of their options open at all times. But strictly speaking, Rogers' tenure is only guaranteed to be 3.5 more years, I think. So I think we can all agree that that's not going to happen in 3.5 years. Maybe it happens sooner than we think, but it's still many years away. So it didn't make any news to me, in my opinion.
No, I don't see it happening anytime soon. I don't see it happening for a few iterations of media rights deals, let alone this current one. Any talk of that or any time during Goodell's administration. But, and we talk about declining numbers. It's mainly when we talk about the declining universe for cable TV. Broadcast TV is still free for everyone. I don't think you're going to be asking $7.5 million on a streaming platform for a 30-second spot. I just don't see that existing in today's media ecosystem. And the Super Bowl, I have to imagine, amongst anything, any live event that's on TV, sports or otherwise, is going to be the last thing that migrates to any streaming platform. So I don't see it for decades at this point.
Yeah, I agree. It's like you could almost imagine a day where broadcast TV is nothing but local news and literally the Super Bowl and maybe a couple games in the NBA Finals.
Ben, something Goodell also talked about was the success that the first season of NFL Sunday Ticket, that out of market package, the good season that it had on YouTube TV. What did he say about that?
Right. This was in the context of that same question about the Super Bowl moving. And he was discussing the pace of change in streaming and how the NFL is trying to put games on platforms that younger people are watching. And one of his points was that it almost flew under the radar because it strikes me as pretty newsy if he meant this literally. But he said that subscriptions to Sunday Ticket had doubled in YouTube's first year. The last I think we had heard official numbers from reputable sources, we had heard 1.3 million signups for YouTube through Sunday Ticket, and historically the number we always had for DirecTV was 1.5 to 2. So if it's truly doubled, then that would seem to be a big deal and really paint that long term deal in a new light in terms of numbers and expectations for YouTube.
Well, I know quality-wise, I watched it this season. I've long been a YouTube TV subscriber, and I loved the functionality. I loved what it was able to do in season one. I had no issues, and I know Google was, happy to talk about it in their quarterly report this season. They released numbers that YouTube TV is up to around 8 million subscribers now. So I'm interested to see, how that continues to grow on the package there. You posed a question to Goodell about strategic options with NFL media. What did he have to say about what's going on there?
Right. I asked him, I pointed out that it had been more than 2.5 years since the NFL said that they were exploring strategic options. They'd hired Goldman Sachs to look for something to do with minority stake in NFL media, and the deal hasn't happened yet. He essentially said, no, he's not worried, and that, they don't do business on my timeline, and that they will continue to look for options, and that otherwise they're pretty pleased with how they've managed this this revolutionary time in the media business. But it's true that they are still out there looking for a partner.